Okay, so we're back from Laconia for the 100th anniversary of Bike Week. I only went up for a weekend, so I got my bumper sticker here so you can check out the trailer with all the stickers I got. Most of these are coming off because they've been on here for years, but there's some down there. Up there starts at 2000, 2003. There was a couple over here that fell off, but I was in the habit of putting Laconia stickers up. So while I clean the trailer off, we're going to go inside. I got some work to do on the Springer, and we'll talk about Laconia for a little bit. Okay, so today I'm going to be working on replacing this rear brake line, on the Springer, and we'll talk a little bit about Laconia Bike Week. We just got back from that. We only went up for the weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that while I do this brake line. Then after this is done, we're going to move up to the chrome controls. I got to lower the table for that. It's a little bit easier to work with it down than it is up. I've got half of it on the other side done, but I have to take this side off because I got to see how a particular switch goes on this side. I have two new throttle cables, both steel braided lines, just like the new clutch cable, and all new controls up top. So let's get going on this brake line, and we'll take this off. So I'm going to have to drain the brake fluid out of this. I got some brand new .5 fluid, and we'll take this off. Because the other end of this end of the line is fine. It's the other end that I'm concerned about. It's a little rusted, and I just don't want that line to break. So it's easier just to replace the line, and maybe I don't have to do that much draining of it. So, all right, let me move down here. I've already got this end loosened. Okay, so I couldn't get the stock line from Harley. They don't make this anymore, but you can see this end of it is all rusted, so I thought it'd be easier just to, well, I got this all apart, to replace this brake line and be done with that. One thing, when I was putting these rocker boxes on, I snapped a bolt on the rocker, I forget what you call it, but I snapped the bolt into the head, and I managed to get that out. Luckily, I was able to get it out pretty easily. All right, so let me clean this off. We'll get this new line in, and it doesn't look like much of it drained out. I don't know if I'll fill it up today, or maybe I'll wait till I'm almost done, but I got a new switch to go on there. All right, so as far as Laconia Bike Week, let me get this up here. So we have been going for about 25 years. We haven't gone for the last 5 years, I'm saying. 2 years, of course, because of COVID, but then we stopped a couple of years before that just because we kind of got tired of it. It's pretty much the same thing all the time. And when I first started going to it, I'm hearing from people that were going to it in the, like 80s and 90s, that it wasn't the same. Well, I can pretty much say the same thing for now. It's not anywhere near like it was when we first started really going to it on a regular basis in 2000. A lot of the things have closed down. When we first started going there, Broke and Spoke was there. They're no longer there anymore. It's now called High Octane Saloon. And to me, it's just turned into kind of a money grab. This is only the second time that we've taken a vehicle there, a car. We didn't take the bikes up this weekend because, one, I didn't want to take them out, and it was going to be raining most of the weekend. So we figured, why ride up there in the rain and ride back in the rain and be stuck in the rain? So just as glad we didn't, because on our way up Saturday, we just caught in a downpour in the car. So now the last time we went up, every time we've gone up, the first 4 days, usually from Saturday to Wednesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday, they allow cars to park down at Weirs Beach. This year they didn't allow that, which is fine. They have a big parking area that's for the beach area anyway, but I'm assuming it's run by the town. And in past it was $5 to park a bike and $10 for the car. This year it was $30 for a car, $10 for a bike, which to me is just outrageous. To pay to have to charge somebody $30 to park a car. Now, if you're going by yourself if you're up there by yourself on a bike, you still only take up one parking space. You can't park in front of anybody else, so they can't get out. So I thought that was a little outrageous. One of our favorite places to go was Marketplace on Weirs Beach. Now, if you've never been there, Marketplace is all the way down at the end of the boardwalk, past the Mount Washington boat. It's all the way at the end. In the past, they've always had a live band in the back, and they've had a live band in the front. And I'll show you a little clip of one of the bands when you sit out back. They had big umbrellas out back. It was a really nice place to go just to sit and drink. Listen to some music, you can eat some food. And then they had the front section where you kind of sat up, and then you could look down on people that were sitting there, and then they had a band out front. For whatever reason, they sold the back part of that Marketplace. So there's nothing out back anymore. There's no bands out front anymore. They put all these picnic tables in with umbrellas. So it's not a place that we went there and had one drink and left, because we used to spend hours at that place. I mean, literal hours. During Bike Week at Marketplace, listening to bands. They used to give out a card, and it would tell you what bands were playing in the morning, in the front, and in the afternoon in the back. So you knew if you wanted to go hear a particular band that you knew, you could plan on going there, whether you're going to sit in the front or the back. It was always pretty good. We always had a real good time there. So that place was kind of a disappointment. Broken Spoke, now I don't exactly know when they closed, but I know in 2000, I think it was 20 and 21, the city put these stupid restrictions on bars during Bike Week that everybody had to sit down. You couldn't have anybody walking around. People couldn't stand at the bar. And if they didn't enforce those rules, they stood a chance of losing their liquor license. So as a result of that, in 2020 and 21, Broken Spoke wasn't open. Now, they're only open 2 weeks out of the year during Bike Week. That's the only time they were open. We did go up there about 7 years ago, I think. We rode up there in October. It was freezing out. And that was the first year they were going to try to be open outside of Bike Week. And we got there, and we were the only people in the bar. So I don't know how that worked out. But the bar is now called the High Octane Saloon. And it used to be free to get into Broken Spoke. And I really wanted to go there because I wanted a t-shirt, because my Broken Spoke t-shirt got messed up. So I wanted to get another one. And then when we got there, it was a $5 cover charge to get in. So it really just is ridiculous. These places charging a cover charge when, they already have hundreds of people going in there buying drinks and buying food, and they're going to charge you a $5 cover charge on top of it. Now, one of the big things they had too was where the drive-in was. I forget what the name of that actually bar is. I don't remember the name of it. But if you walked way down in the back, they had a big tent set up. And I'll post a video of that too, where they had a live band back there. Which was pretty good, but again, no place to sit. They had tables that you could stand at, and that was it. So who was going to go in there and drink for an hour, 2 hours, standing up? Nobody wants to stand up. So you have a drink and you leave. So it's like, it just really wasn't the same as it was in years past. So years past, there was, actually when we first started going up there, across from the Broken Spoke was the Boot Hill Saloon. Then that changed to the Broken Antler, and then they've never had anything across the street from the Broken Spoke since then. I don't know why, but I guess Laconia is putting these ridiculous restrictions on these bars now up there. So one good thing about it was several years ago, if you've ever been up there, if you know Roller Coaster Road, which comes out of Wares Beach and ends up coming right beside the Broken Spoke, that road was terrible. So at least about 10 years ago, they repaved that road. But I don't know if we're going to go back next year. A lot of the places that we like to go to are just not there anymore. So we'll see. I mean, they could really just do away with most of the vendors that are there, because they all sell the same stuff anyway. But it is nice to go up there for a weekend and just, check out the bikes, see what's going on. It was absolutely packed Saturday. I've never seen it that busy before, and I've been up there some years when there's been 500,000 people there, and it was absolutely slammed on Saturday. Now, whether it's because this is really the first year since COVID, or it's because it's the 100th anniversary, hard to say which it is. It's probably a combination of both. But we still had a good time up there checking out bikes and a lot of good food. We went out to some restaurants up there. So one of my favorite places is Hart's Turkey Farm, turkey restaurant. So I always get a turkey dinner when I'm up there. That's usually the last thing I do before we head back. So we went there. I went to the Harley dealer to check out a trike. And I'll talk about that experience in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe. Leave me some comments below. Let me show you here's the finished brake line. I'm going to have to take this off because these washers didn't come with O-rings. There's O-rings inside there on the banjo bolts, and it didn't come with it. So I'm going to have to go get some new O-rings, but there's a new switch in, the new line. I'm not really keen on how this line goes. It should come over the top, but this line is a little long, so I had to bring it underneath, which should be fine. And I'll add some brake fluid when I get those new washers in. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.